We are in the aftermath of another Super Bowl defeat. The second loss in 3 seasons. Yet again, we absolutely collapsed. Now, we only lost by a field goal, but we collapsed. There's just no way about it. This team fell short of expectations again. And what happens from here, I have no idea. The thought of trading Chase Dawson, that's certainly still present. What happens here in terms of re-signing players, free agency, I mean, really, who the hell knows? That's the worst part about this, is yet again, the future for us is completely up in the air. As Taylor Spencer improves, just making better as an elusive back. He's up to an 84 overall. It's a weird spot in this series because, admittedly, had we won that Super Bowl, this upcoming season would likely be our last. Where, of course, you just want to see, like, okay, we either add another title, or we see if we can repeat. And now it's like, well, we don't have a title. And what the hell happens from here? Coco Ivy, I believe, is the last. Nope. Terrence Abraham. It's also someone we have to re-sign. J.K. Scott and Ian Christensen. I think I'd want to prioritize Coco Ivy as a corner just to get him locked down. Could potentially trade him if need be. Offer him about, straight threes for a deal. Will he accept it? No. He's going to go to free agency. I'm not going to bother hitting him with a franchise tag. So Coco Ivy's going to be on the way out. Terrence Abraham, I'm just going to let walk. It's not worth paying that much money to a second-choice tight end. And we can't afford what he's looking for anyway, unless can I withdraw the offer here? Apparently not. So we're good. All those players will be going to free agency. No ridiculous losses. And we'll see what's ahead of us here. So right now, we're currently in negative cap space, which isn't surprising. However, there really isn't anybody that we have to worry about signing here. Quarterback, we're good. Running back-wise, we're good. There's not a single player that I am worried about signing. So we're going to be able to skip right through free agency. I mean, even like Jamison Fields, he's not bad, but we have Clinton Tuck. Like, yeah, we do need a second-choice DT. We can find one in the draft. And if we lose Coco Ivy, especially to Buffalo, that would kind of suck. But for the most part, I think we're fine. So yet again, we're not going to be making any moves there. The only thing that I do want to check is the trade center. Because technically we have $8 million in cap room. It's just the draft picks, of course, that will be adding to the negative cap. We only have 2, but it's enough to add to it. Now, we get rid of Chase Dawson. We free up a whole lot of money. And that could very well happen. N'Keal Harry's 29. He's not long for this team. Solomon Crosby is currently overpaid. I mean, there are players that we could move out to free up money if we had to. And there's no doubt. I mean, we're gonna have to move on from some players here at some point. But right now, I don't think we have to. I think we can keep this team together heading into the draft. And then see if, what move we can make, if any. So, pretty straightforward. No free agency to worry about. Just the big question here is whether or not Dion Beal out of Arizona State is worth the risk. That's the question. Is this guy projected as a mid-first rounder, ridiculous strength, doesn't have the greatest speed in the world, but I don't know, it's tough to say whether or not we should go for him. And just to double check, we already have everybody in the secondary scouted. That's worth it. Running back wise, we have the top options scouted. I think we're good. We already have fullback scouted. It's just other members of the offensive line that we were looking at. So let's take a look at you because of that ridiculous combine grade. Left guard. Let's take a look at you. Not bad, but nothing too crazy. Anybody else that's close to a 6? That would be great. Let's take a look at Tyler Cook. Nothing really there. And then the defensive line, which is where our scout is currently. So we will focus on the D-line up until the draft. Let's see what we have here with all of these 6s. And you know what? For the most part, I think it's going to take about a 6 for me to really care. Although 5'8" and 5'9", those are close enough. We'll take a look. We'll figure it out. Like I said, though, free agency-wise, nothing to worry about. So it's all good. It's all good. I am just having to try and decide on the fly whether or not I'm making a trade for Dion Beal. And I don't currently know the answer to that. And it's kind of scary because that decision is going to decide whether or not we ever win a damn thing. And at this rate, it wouldn't be surprising if we never do. I basically have everybody scouted that I need to scout, so we're fine. Let's go to the draft, and let's see what awaits us. Of course, we'll recap free agency, see where the top options went, even though there really aren't that many gigantic options. Belief signing-wise, I at least want to see where certain people went, including Sonny Michel to San Francisco, Coco Ivy to San Francisco as well. Terrence Abraham staying in the AFC East, though. He went to Buffalo. Joe Tooney goes to Houston, another former Patriot from back in the day. So the 2027 draft. One more quick look at this team, what we're shaping up like. Again, there is the quarterback question. Running back-wise, I still think we're good with this 1-2 punch. Sheffield hasn't developed by that much, but he's fine. Fullback-wise, I mean, we could look for somebody if we needed to. It's not an extreme need. Wide receiver-wise, getting a strong wide receiver would be nice because Crosby's kind of overpaid. We do kind of need to look at wideouts. We could look at a tight end as well behind Baldwin. The O-line is fine. If anything, we have assets that we could use to trade if we had to. We need another defensive tackle. Linebacker-wise, we have Kirby, Jacobs. We do need a linebacker. Doesn't matter where, just the best one we can get. I think ideally we could find another corner. And then safety-wise for now, we're good. But we also need a kicker and a punter. So we have the 28th pick and, of course, the 31st pick as well. Members on the O-line that we can use. Quarterback-wise, if we're taking anybody, it's Dion Beal. That's not even a question. Running back-wise, not concerned at all. Fullback-wise, I mean, I think Matthew Anderson's a monster. So is O'Sullivan. We could keep an eye on both of them. Of course, Anderson's a utility as opposed to a blocker. Wide receiver-wise, we have Timms, Morgan, Mayle, and Robinson. Lindsey in the second round, and that is it. Tight end-wise, there is only one. Actually, well, there's a couple, but pretty much Jeffrey Holt is the only one that we'd want. The grades are actually okay. And then on the O-line, we will take a look at any other green talent here. Right guard, Bartlett, Finney, Thornhill, and Cook. Of course, we'll take a look at the combine grades after that. Defensive line, there is a decent amount of options, which I don't hate. And DT, Jimmy Britton, Dwayne Bass. Quite a few DTs, actually. Buck Riddle. What a name. Buck Riddle. Joey Leonard as well. Linebacker-wise, Devontae Birch, Bromley is there, Hankerson, Jameson. Middle linebacker, though, Daquan Leonard looks like the guy. And then nobody on the outside, actually. Corners, Joey Can, Marquise Kennedy, Frazier, Clinton, Joey Armour. There's actually a lot of corners that could be worth it. Jesus, this is... okay, yeah, there were way more options than I thought. Safety-wise, we have a couple of options there. Sweet. Karma Barnes, what a name. And then in terms of kickers, I mean, we're looking at Blair Ramsey as the best option. Although I'd probably go for Sammy Brewster as well. It'd be nice to get that power up a little bit more, but that's okay. And then punter-wise, there's one clear option with Will Lehman. So taking a look at the draft board, Dion Beal has dropped to the late first round. Early first round projected, but late first round talent. I don't know if we can risk it with him. I know our current quarterback has shown a tendency to choke. I just don't know if we can risk it. Now, Tracy Timms pretty much has it all as a deep threat. The speed, the agility, a good vert at 6 foot, decent strength. He looks like he could be the real deal. Neil Morgan is a physical type. He's just way too slow. The speed's not there. The agility's not there. To be honest, the strength. I mean, 17 reps has him in 12th. 18 has him in 8th. I just don't like it. Like, he'd be a better tight end. And I really don't want a tight end convert. So we'll keep him on the list, but he's certainly down the list. Same with Mail. I don't think he is the guy. Robinson has good speed, but he's 24. And then Lindsey just has no agility at all, but everything else is great. I don't think wide receiver-wise I'm chomping at the bit to draft any of them first overall or anything like that. Holt, obviously, I'm not too concerned about. The O-line is just more of... Well, number one, we should at least look to see the stats here. 35 reps at 24. 38 reps is tremendous. Leach at 32. Newberry at 30. That's pretty good for a center, actually. Bartlett at 28. That's going to disqualify him. Zach Finney looking good. Thornhill, no, you're out. And Tyler Cook, right on the fringe. So defensive line, I don't think we're going to have to trade up here. From the looks of it, that's not going to be an issue. Anthony Pierman, looking pretty damn good. I just think here, I mean, Britton, 34 reps, really good agility at 22. And then someone like Bass looks great. But we're really not hurting to the point where we have to trade up, although Leonard could be very interesting. I think, you know, with us not exactly needing one person in particular, we just wait to see how this first round plays out. So we can trade if we need to, but let's see what happens here. Tennessee, number 1, took Tracy Timms, 76 wideout, so he goes super early. I don't think I would have risked it to trade up, you know, number 1 pick-wise. Neil Morgan goes second. He's a 73. Might have good dev. Another 3 straight wide receivers to start the draft. Chargers go with D'Angelo Brown at safety. Not really surprising. Houston took Joey Can, 79 rated corner. Would have been nice, but far too expensive for my blood. Marquise Kennedy's there. Daquan Leonard went off the board. He was only a 75. Might have a good dev pattern, but that's lower than I would have thought. Pierman's gone. Murdoch, Jesus, Green Bay, swing and a miss there. Chicago, Ace Lindsey, not good. Miami with Cleary, nah. Isaac Baldwin, oh man, look at some of these lower overalls. I mean, Jimmy Britton's off the board and he's pretty good, but... And Dion Beal goes to Dallas, only a 72. I think we made the right choice in terms of being conservative here. Bass is great, but again, we already have a number 1 DT. I don't regret waiting until our pick just comes up naturally, because there are some big swings and misses here in this first round. And the further we trade up, the more risky that move would have been. So seeing who is left, who's projected to go early, we know who our quarterback's going to be next year. Lindsey I don't have to worry about. Holt I don't have to worry about yet. Newberry could be the pick. We don't really need him. Finney could also be the pick. I'm a little bit worried about Newberry because he's a center, but the agility's tremendous. I mean, he could just be a pick and then we move out somebody else to save a bit of money. O'Neal and Rotten, both okay. A couple of guys who are second round projected, but first round talents. Is there anybody who's a first round talent still projected to go in the first round? There is not. Right. So wide receiver wise, the only guy that we can get, to help us out here is Lindsey, and I really don't like the agility. Everything else is looking interesting though. But then again, agility wise, you just send him down the field and you'll be good to go. So we get him, we move out Crosby, and could save a bit of money, or factor in that N'Keal Harry is not going to be here for that much longer. Tight end 2, we don't have to worry about. A second defensive tackle. There are plenty of options to select next. That extra linebacker, I mean, it'll probably be Birch that we look to get, but we don't have a second round pick. That's where we could look to move up. And we could use another corner. I just don't know if I trust Levy, and I don't. I don't at all. Let's see, Antonio Dillon. Yeah, we're probably going to want to get that guy. So, you know what I'm actually going to do here? Is take that wide receiver, Deron Lindsay. Projected as a late second round or mid-second round talent. But then again, I don't even know if we really need to trade Crosby. I mean, yeah, the money's a problem, but the money's always going to be a problem when we, are paying a quarterback as much as we're paying him. Damn. What do we do with this team? What do we do? I mean, with those 4 wideouts leading the way, we're pretty much fine. Tight end wise, again, we need a second tight end. We need another DT. But none of these are extreme issues. Like, we can make it from where we are. I'm just wondering if trading down with one of these picks is a good way to go. And to be honest, I think I will. Let's see if we can get a second rounder and a little bit more. So 2028 draft, we have 2 thirds, a second and a fourth, second, third, and a fourth. And that is going to be the deal. We'll take that second round pick from the Eagles. Let them trade up, and we'll see who they take. They went with Levy. Good thing I didn't trust him. Yeah, this first round is a minefield. Zach Finney looked okay. Of course, it's the last pick of the second round. Can I get one that's a little bit earlier? If I trade down from here, second and a fourth, second, third, and a fifth, but that's a second next year. Let's take that deal from Minnesota. I don't really see the need to draft in the first round. It's another later pick. Let's just skip ahead and see who's still there. Like I said, we're set up pretty well in that our weaknesses, it's depth as opposed to having game-changing players in these spots. So the fullbacks are still there. The wideout's gone. That's fine. Holt's available. So third round, projected in the second is still fine. Doyle we don't really need. Cook we don't really need. We have Clifford. Absolutely not. Payne. Could be a decent DT with that strength. Speaking of DTs, Calvin. It's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Bromley we don't really need right now. Corners, Slayton. There's just no way. Yikes. And then there's Dillon, who I will probably take with that next pick. So you know what? Let's get that out of the way. I'm going to take Antonio Dillon here. Just see if a combine beast can be as good as advertised. He is only a 70, but it works, I guess. For this draft, that's actually pretty damn good from the looks of it. So let's see what we can take here at the end of the second round. And I think we're going to take that tight end, Jeffrey Holt. Yeah, let's go for Jeffrey Holt. Let's see how good he is. 70 normal, so nothing too crazy, unfortunately. We'll sim to the end of the third round, see what else we have here. Hopefully it's something decent. Back-to-back picks, that is decent. We could do some damage here. So quarterback-wise, we're not looking anymore. So on the draft board, we have our fullbacks, the O-line if we needed it. The DT, Joey Leonard, is there. Not that good, though. And then linebacker-wise, Hankerson, you can just tell, man. It's going to be a whole lot of nothing. It's going to be a whole lot of nothing. Outside of maybe Karma Barnes. Outside of Karma Barnes, it's going to be a whole bunch of nothing. So you know what? Karma Barnes is who we're going to take here. It's a little bit early. 71, but that gives us some depth in the secondary. We're going to trade away this pick. We have a lot of picks that we can trade down, so No major moves. That is the theme. We have a 4th and a 6th. That's a decent little deal. A 3rd round pick. Let's take that 3rd round pick from Philly. That might just be a few selections. No, it was next year's. Okay, good. I didn't exactly want to just trade down. Let's go for the depth here. This is not going to be a blockbuster draft for us by any stretch. So, you know what? For the hell of it, let's go for Joey Leonard, who is not good, but he at least gives us an option at defensive tackle, so it could be worse. And this next pick here, we'll probably look for a linebacker that we have on the board. And fuck it, based off of talent, we'll go for Hankerson. And he's hitting Dev. 68 overall. It's still not anything too amazing, though, unfortunately. We own the final 2 picks of the 4th round. Let's see what we can do here. So Jameson, I'm not going to worry about. I'm just going to make these picks now. So we need a kicker, first and foremost. We're going to go for the guy with a bit more power, and that is Blair Ramsey. Ugh. Cannot get a kicker with a good dev pattern this year. I don't know what's up with that, but it's just not happening. And then punter-wise, let's go for Will Lehman. Jesus. They really do need to make some of these guys higher rated out of the draft. It is rough. There's a reason why the XP slider is so, weighted to try and get them to develop. It's because they just won't. And from here, let's go with Matthew Anderson. Yes. Hoping for a guy with a good dev pattern. He's only a 63, but that could have been worse. So for the most part, that's going to end this draft. I'm going to head into the preseason. We are going to set this team up as best we can. And obviously, we'll have to fill out some spots. I'm not even going to worry about these guys. We'll have to fill out some spots. We'll be able to do that through free agency. Let's get a 5th round pick next year from Buffalo with that one. It's going to be pretty much the same star players leading this team in what could be our final season. And that's a scary thing to say, that it's going to be the same players leading this team. But that is exactly what we are looking at.